All right, so today we are going to dive deep into something pretty remarkable. A rescue mission, and a pretty amazing one. It involves, like, one of the most endangered amphibians in the entire world, the Darwin's frog. But before we jump in, everyone listening, just a quick heads up. This frog, it faces, like, extinction because of this deadly fungus. And, well, conservationists are literally in a race against time.
It's pretty dire.
Yeah. And get this, these frogs, they're named after Charles Darwin, the Charles Darwin.
Right.
And get this, it's the fathers who take care of the young, but in a way you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, pretty wild.
So let's start with the basics. I
Yeah.
mean, we got to paint a picture of how bad the situation really is, right?
Okay, so we're talking about Darwin's frogs in Chile. They live in these forests, Parque Tantaco, really beautiful place. But this chytrid fungus, right? It's wiping them out.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
Huge problem. Like in 1 year, the population dropped by 90%.
90%.
Just in 1 year.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's rough. A real blow to biodiversity.
I mean, and we say chytrid fungus, but, like, what is that exactly? How does it, like, actually harm the frogs?
So basically it attacks their skin.
The skin.
Their skin, which, for amphibians, it's a big deal. They use their skin to breathe, to absorb water, all that.
Yeah.
This fungus, it basically messes everything up, throws their whole system out of whack. And, well, a lot of times it kills them. It's a global problem, like, for all amphibians, but for Darwin's frogs, it's been
Catastrophic.
Catastrophic, exactly.
Okay, so we have this, like, pretty dire situation.
Right.
So what are people doing about it? I know conservationists, they got involved, right?
Yeah, they did. And it was a huge effort. I mean, think about this. They traveled 7,000 miles.
7,000.
7,000 miles to rescue these frogs. It's incredible.
To rescue these frogs. Wow.
They went deep into the forest using, like, these audio lures, special techniques, everything, to collect 53 Darwin's frogs. 53 of them. And keep in mind, these frogs, they're tiny. Less than 3 centimeters long.
3 centimeters?
Yeah, it's like the size of your thumbnail.
Oh, wow. That's
really incredible. Real dedication.
So they get these frogs. What happens next? Where do they go?
London Zoo. They were brought to the London Zoo, and, well, this is where things get really, really interesting.
Right.
Okay, so breeding these frogs in captivity had never been done before. It was a huge challenge, but the team there, they pulled it off. They really did something amazing.
Awesome.
They managed to breed them. 33 froglets.
33?
Yeah, 33 froglets were born at the zoo.
Wow.
Ben Tapley, he's the curator of amphibians at the zoo, he called it, like a landmark moment for the species' survival.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I remember years ago seeing this documentary about Darwin's frogs, and the one thing I remember so clearly, the males, they carry the tadpoles in their vocal sacs. Like, in their throat.
Right. How wild is that?
Such a bizarre but fascinating way to raise their young. I mean, could you imagine?
I mean, no. It's a totally unique adaptation.
Yeah.
Keeps those tadpoles safe and sound until they're ready to, become froglets.
I mean, I guess it makes sense. Nature is full of surprises.
It really is.
But this whole rescue mission, I mean, it really makes you, realize how much effort goes into protecting biodiversity,
Absolutely. I mean, this is a huge win.
Yeah.
And it shows how important zoos can be, when it comes to conservation.
Yeah.
They're not just places to, like, see animals. They're centers for research, breeding programs, conservation efforts. It gives a lot of hope for other species facing similar situations.
It definitely does. What do you think? What if we could apply this level of dedication to every endangered species out there? What would our priorities be? Something to think about,